look, don't worry about the Meilooruns.
Yeah, Meilooruns. We found some, but we lost them. Then we found them again, but we smashed them. Just cut to the chase, kid.
Wait, what am I hearing? It sounds like...
Yeah, about that. See, well, we stole a TIE fighter. You what?
He's taking it better than I thought.
If there was ever a moment that cemented this show as something I should stick around for, it was without a shadow of a doubt this one.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
And that doesn't happen for me often. It took almost 3 seasons of The Walking Dead to snatch my attention, and almost an entire season of Community before both would become treasured hits in my catalogue that I return to in an hour of need from the torturous state of television and movies these days.
Why are you the way that you are? Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way.
Rebels, however, convinced me straight out of the gate with a delightfully vibrant, asinine comedic tale centred around a subtle plot point set up at the end of last episode with Ezra saving Zeb from Agent Callus. There's a few call forwards established here, but they're outdone by the sheer hilarity of this episode, and the plot isn't anything strenuous as it's more about the character development and familial bond that's generated between our calamitous duo, so allow me to regale you in their exploits and tell you what this sets up. We begin with Ezra attempting to practice his Force abilities with Chopper when the little shit tricks and convinces him that he's using the Force, which enrages Ezra, who proceeds to chase him throughout the halls of the ship. This chase takes them both to Zeb's quarters, where he makes a passive-aggressive comment against Ezra where if he wakes him, he'll end him.
It's an older code, sir, but it checks out.
To which Chopper takes this as a challenge accepted and charges an electric volt which hits Zeb directly. As Zeb readies to wipe the floor with the kid, Ezra reminds him that he saved him a while back, which pisses Zeb off, but it clearly carries a degree of meaning to the Sark culture to honour your saviour until you can return the gesture. As Zeb returns to his bed, Ezra hops onto his own, only for them to discover that Chopper removed the bed pins to Ezra's bunk. This of course means that Ezra's bunk collapses on Zeb and he pursues him throughout the ship, only for Mama Hera to get involved and send them to town to collect a few supplies, with the bonus collectible being a Meilooruns. As they venture through and start to collect the items that she requested, Ezra spots the Meilooruns only to find out that they belong to the Empire.
Fuck.
Zeb says to leave it, but determined to show him up, he pursues them anyway. As Ezra makes it to them, he's spotted and the chase begins, with a variety of hilarious moments occurring and some impressive displays of skills and strength from Zeb. Everything culminates in him acquiring a TIE fighter to escape the security details around the town. Once Zeb collects Ezra, they glide over the town, only for their view to become compromised, thanks to some exploding fruits, and Ezra gets to equally demonstrate his innate connection to the Force by stopping them from crashing. They agree to call it even over who owes who's a life stipulation and are instructed to destroy the TIE once Hera and Kanan find out what happened. As they make their way over the fields of Lothal to destroy it, they spot a prisoner convoy with Mr. Samar, a friend of Ezra's, being transported in cuffs. Ezra pleads with Zeb to help them and he begrudgingly agrees. After a few more antics transpire, they free the prisoners, stop the Empire, and Ezra collects a Meilooruns for Hera in the process.
Good job.
As they return to their room, they find that Sabine is leaving her take on the situation, calling on Ezra's suggestion earlier that he could be a model for her, and they unify in trying to take down Chopper for his actions at the start of the episode. Now, I don't believe my description of this does it much justice, and I'm saying it right here, you need to go out of your way to check this one out, as you'll have a genuinely good time.
Do it.
It embodies everything that you'll need to know about Rebels, with the emotional beats being solid and from here on out are pretty consistent. The comedic timing is perfect, the dialogue delivery is on point, the vibrancy supports the hilarity, it acknowledges and informs the viewer when it's time to take things seriously and manages to run itself back to where we started. The running threads throughout the episode are the grievances with Chopper, which bookend this. The frayed relationship is strengthened between Ezra and Zeb, which in the past 3 episodes the two have been at odds with each other, and then the Meilooruns that kicked off this barrel of monkeys got a payoff too, through Ezra's virtuous actions to save his friend who had just lost everything with his farm being blown up by the Empire, which ties itself into a running thread that you don't quite see coming until it makes itself known.
I don't like where this is going.
Speaking of, so spoilers for future plot points, but Mr. Samar's farm is the beginning of the Empire's plans to construct their plants on Lothal so they can steadily start stripping the natural resources from the world. This eventually plays into Thrawn's plans for building his fuel depot and factory to assemble his TIE Defender programs by Season 4 Rebels. Plus, throughout Season 3, Mr. Samar becomes a part of Thrawn's workforce, who meets an unfortunate end due to Thrawn deducing his workers are intentionally compromising his arsenal.
Well, that's fucking not good.
Then, the TIE fighter that Zeb steals returns in this season's finale as a distraction for the crew to infiltrate the Grand Inquisitor's starship in an effort to save Kanan from capture, which until then is known to all but Hera and Kanan and becomes an art project for Sabine. Then, lastly, the Meilooruns. This fucking fruit becomes a running joke throughout the course of the show, especially Zeb's Commander Meiloorun, but it is most prominent in his final minutes of the series as Ezra's way of expressing his gratitude to Hera as the only motherly figure he had since both his parents died, following his fight with Thrawn that leads to them both jettisoning away from Lothal. So if you stuck around for the spoiler talk, then you'll understand just how incredible this show is with the interconnected nods, setups, callbacks and call forwards, with this being, as I said, a carefully crafted piece of storytelling that is a 4-season arc for these beloved characters. But if you're saving yourself for when you're able to watch all of this, then make sure to pay attention to what the characters are saying, keep an eye out for certain details, and just when you think something seems irrelevant, it comes back in a poignant or hilarious way. The work put into Ezra and Zeb was brilliant, and for now at least they have a tenuous relationship at best, but there will come a point when they become brothers and develop an understanding for what they can bring to the team and each other. The subplot works to drive the entire thing forward beyond its natural conclusion over the supplies and escaping the Empire. The pacing is steady, especially as it jumps between stark brutality and quippy asinine tones. The writing is sturdy, and the character work is stuff of legends compared to what we get now from Disney Star Wars.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Ultimately, this is a good time. There's little else to dig into here as it's simply done for a thrill, but it's worth every second of your day. That's all I've got for this week though. I appreciate you stopping by. If you enjoyed this, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you like what you see here, and until next week, take care and may the Force be with you.